Oh wait,
Anthony Hartwig here with a Brookfield softball player profile. I am joined by Abby DeJoy. Abby, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
thank you for having me.
Man, we've had a chance to see this Brookfield team live. First question, I just want you to kind of go into this team and what it's being like being in this dugout. How would you describe the personality of Brookfield softball this year?
I couldn't ask to be on a better team. We are all full of energy, always supporting each other. When someone gets down, picking them up. It's just a positive team and good environment to be in.
There's a ton of talent on this team as well. When you look around and you see so many players just doing their job and you're able to trust your teammates to be able to make the plays they're able to make, what's that like for you? I mean, you're in the middle of the infield, so you're a leader on the infield. What's it like to look around your infield, your outfield, your pitcher, and your catcher, knowing that everyone out there is going to be really good at doing their job?
It definitely helps relieve pressure. We still communicate every play, every pitch, but it's helpful to know that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing and will try to execute it to the best of their ability.
You're a big part of that communication. Like we said before, as a shortstop, you're kind of one of the leaders on the field, trying to get your whole infield in the right positions and things like that. Have you always been a good vocal leader, or do you think you stepped into that ability over the last couple of years of your career?
Definitely more over the past couple years. I think being a coach's daughter, you try to stay on the down low and more lead by example, but over the years have proven to be able to speak and lead through communication and be more vocal.
You're a senior, and one of the things that we realized looking in this roster is there are a lot of seniors on this team. What's it like having so much leadership available in that dugout?
It's very nice. Even our juniors, we have two juniors that play on the team as well. They've had just as much as experience as the seniors, so um, very experienced team. The leadership is there. We all are on the same page and have that chemistry. Know what we need to do.
Everyone kind of brings their own leadership qualities to the table when you have a big group of seniors like that. We've seen how vocal you are. Who's one of the girls that leads more by example and just shows up and just does the work night in, night out for the softball team and shows everybody else kind of how it's done and what the standard is?
I think our pitcher, Miranda Nicholson, for one, she's always putting in work. And our catcher, Katie Gibson, is very quiet, but always works hard and is very dedicated. As long
And
as, or as also Sophia Hook, she is also vocal, but very talented and leads by example.
we all know how good Sophia Hook is at pretty much everything that she does.
Yes.
We haven't found anything that she's not good at yet. Maybe we'll ask her that next time we have her on. What aren't you good at? One of the things that we realize also about this team, you brought up Miranda Nicholson, who's in the circle. You get to play behind her at short.
Mhm.
What's it like to be able to play behind a pitcher like that that just does so well and does a great job and really shuts down these lineups that you have to go up against?
Definitely helps us. Again, relieves pressure. It makes us want to do better for her because she works so hard. So when teams do hit her, makes us want to make the plays for her, get out of the innings.
Let's talk about your offense this year. You already have 4 home runs in the season. You've been mashing it early on in this spring. What's been working so well for you at the plate? What are some of your batting routines that you've been really doing a good job at this year?
I've honestly been doing the same routines, but I think I put more focus into them this year. A lot of off-season work and just trying to remain calm. It's my last season. I want to do well and I want to have fun. So trying to take off the pressure and just have fun out there.
If you had to pick like one thing that you worked on the most as far as your swing over the off season, what were some of the things that you really just tried to drive home this off season in your swing?
Not dipping and making sure I stay balanced in my swing, just so I don't pop up the ball and more so drive it.
You've built a really good swing even before all that. Who are some of the people and coaches that have really helped you develop the softball swing that you've kind of put into your game this year?
Since I was young, my dad, Dave DeJoy, taught me how to swing. As long as we added to our coaching staff this year, Jason McCollum, he's helped me a lot as well.
I thought your dad might be the answer, and I thought it would be a perfect segue to talk about having head coach David DeJoy and your dad as the head coach here at Brookfield. What's that been like for you? What's that dynamic like to be able to play a game, be coached by him, and then be able to take it home if you needed to, and ask him even more about the game or what you did or what your teammates did, even after you leave the field?
We have our moments where we butt heads, but we always put aside and separate home life and softball life, and we both want it as bad as the other wants it. We want to win. We're competitive, and he helps me with what I need and leaves me alone when he knows I'm not in a good mood, so it works.
Every time we talk to softball players, we hear so many good stories about the dad coach, even if they're not the head coach of the varsity team that they play on, the time and work that most of these fathers have put in to kind of help their daughters play softball. Growing up with it and being able to be coached by them for as long as obviously you have been, what's that been like for you, and what's the dynamic like between you guys? Even off the field when you're talking about just going into the cage and trying to build things in the off season, like you said before.
It's honestly been rewarding just to see how we both grew together from little league and even now him being a high school coach about the same time that I reached high school and my class reached high school. I think all of the girls that are in my grade are also like daughters to him, and it's just cool to see how we all grew together.
Now, did he start his softball journey with you, or did he know about the sport before you started playing?
He knew a little about the sport, but I think my brother and I, when we started T-ball, is really when he became most invested.
Let's talk about your love story with the sport. Obviously, to work as hard as you do at it, you gotta love softball. When did you fall in love with the sport, and what kind of things made you gravitate towards it so much?
I've always enjoyed it, but I really fell in love with it, I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago. I just love how you have to compete, and as much as it is a team sport, it's also individual. So you work as hard as you can for yourself just so you can do better for the rest of your team. And I really like that about it.
It's senior season, which means we have to talk about all these lasts that you're going through. Last home game, last opening day, last time you play this team, that team. How have you been handling the emotions that senior year can bring and all these last times that senior year kind of puts in front of you?
I'm just trying to enjoy every moment. I haven't really thought about the last as much since football season has ended, basketball season has ended. So softball and baseball season is kind of like the last of the last, and I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of it.
It's also the last couple months of school. What's it been like trying to get through these last couple weeks and months of schoolwork, knowing that you're so close to graduating and you're so close to being done?
I think that softball definitely helps keep me motivated, keep a routine. I have to get my schoolwork done so I can play softball and perform well. I like to be a good student. I like to do well in everything I do. So having a sport to play during the last moments of school has definitely helped.
What are some of the subjects that you really like and enjoy as you're striving to be a good student?
My AP English class is probably my favorite, but I also enjoy my human physiology class. Those are my two most challenging classes that I have my senior year.
When we're talking about coaches that had impacts on you, what teachers have had an impact on you through your education journey throughout the Brookfield school system?
My freshman year, my geometry teacher, Mr. Klein, he was also a coach around Trumbull and Mahoning County for football. He challenged me in a way that no other teacher ever has, and he pushed me to not only be a better student, but a better athlete and a better person all around.
What are some of your future plans after graduation that you want to see yourself accomplishing after you graduate from Brookfield?
I'm planning to attend YSU and I'm going into business. So whether it be start my own business or help manage somebody else's business, just trying to do well no matter what I do in my future and work hard.
How did you kind of decide that you wanted to go into business and be either like you said, either a business owner or help someone else manage their own business? What kind of things drew you to that goal and that career?
Honestly, it took a lot of narrowing down, but I think just being able, if especially if I start my own business, to have a say in what I do with my job and my own career, kind of planning out my own future.
If someone came to you right now with all the capital in the world, just handed you money and said, "Start your own business," what kind of thing would you want to start? Like, what kind of business would be your dream to kind of start and run?
Honestly, I'm not sure, but definitely something related with sports, whether it be something like YSN, something broadcasting, just anything to do with sports. I've been around them my whole life and don't want to stop.
Is there something right now in the softball world that you think either hasn't been invented yet or doesn't get like enough marketing or whatever it may be that you think you could really use into the sport? Maybe you can bring it to softball.
Um, well, I love the Easton Ghost bats, but they break really easily. So maybe finding a way to have a bat with that much pop that doesn't break as easily.
So maybe in the near future we'll see the DeJoys coming out with their own bat brand.
Yeah.
Uh, that'd be awesome. What would get like? What are some of like your needs for a bat? Like obviously everyone has their bats they love to swing. What are some of your likes for bats? What do you look for in a new bat when one of them breaks? What are some of your favorites?
Um, I like something that has a little more weight to it, but isn't too heavy for a faster pitcher because I feel like the more weight, the farther you can drive the ball. If it's too light, I feel like it just kind of like dinks off the bat. But I'm honestly not too picky when it comes to a bat. It's not the bats and mechanics. So if your mechanics are right, then the ball will go.
What has been your favorite bat of your career? Like the one that you love the most?
I don't think many people swing this bat, but the Rawlings Mantra, all blue, it's beautiful.
Let's talk. We can't talk about your bat without talking about your glove because we know that players also have a nice relationship with their glove. How many gloves have you used? Do you keep a special bond with your softball glove?
I have had my same glove for all of high school, and before that, I think I've only had, besides my T-ball glove, I think I've only gone through 2 gloves ever since I started playing softball.
That's a special bond. Is anyone else allowed to touch your glove at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too yeah, not too picky about that, but I do keep the same one.
If you had to name it, what would you name your glove?
I have no idea.
Let's
I've never thought about that question.
never, never thought about naming it. What are some things that you have that are kind of softball superstitions? Do you have any that you bring into the field?
Every time before I go up to bat, I draw a little cross in the box because it represents my faith, and it could also be like a T. And every game, my grandpa used to come to all of my games. He can't anymore, but his name is Tom, and so that T is for him and for my faith.
When you are thinking about all the people that have supported you and you think about all the people that do support you, who are some names that come to mind that you would say are role models or inspirations that you can go to in the low times that softball is bound to bring because it's a sport that is built to make you fail? Who do you go to when you need inspiration, when you need a role model? Who are some names that come to mind?
I think I can go and have a good relationship with every coach on our coaching staff, Coach Mike, Coach Jason, Coach Kenny. I feel like I can go to all of them. But also, one of my biggest role models was Brookfield's and now Pitt's Bailey Drapola. I've always loved watching her play, and she is an incredible player.
When you think of maybe like national softball players, was there anyone you watched as a kid that you were like, man, I want to be like this person when I grow up?
No one specifically, honestly, just watching every team. I never even had a favorite team. I just love the sport so much. I just love watching them all play and analyzing the game.
And now with growth in technology and things like Game Changer, you're able to watch yourself right after the game, break down your swings and things like that. How much has that helped you improve being able to go right after a game and see yourself, see your swings, and try to fix anything that might have gone wrong?
It's definitely helped a lot, especially in high school softball. You could play 3 to 6 games a week. You're almost playing every day. So trying to do well in your performance the next game, it's nice to be able to go back and watch and try to fix that before you play the next day.
All right, before we let you go, let's get to know you a little bit off the field. First thing, what is your walk up song? What song you walking up to the plate with?
My walk-up song is "Superhero" by Metro.
What made you pick that? What sticks out about that song to you that made you want to to be the one that you walk out to?
The intro is very tough, and I think it's intimidating, and I want people to remember that when I come up to bat.
What are some of your softball icks?
This happens to me sometimes because I have long legs, but it's still an ick when your pants come up and your socks don't cover, so, like, your knees are showing. We call it "neavage." I do not like that, but sometimes you can't help it when you have long legs.
What's your favorite softball chant to come out of the Brookfield dugout?
I like when someone hits a foul ball and we go, "What way? That way."
There it is. I like that you actually did it because a lot of softball players don't want to do it. So thank you for giving us a demonstration. What's your nickname on the team? Do you have a nickname?
My nickname was just Abby because my full name's Abigail, but before she graduated, we had a player that since I played with her when I was little, she called me Squirt.
What's your favorite nickname on the team? Like if you had to pick any teammate that has a great nickname, who would you pick?
Um, I think everyone's nicknames are mostly just an abbreviation of their names, but our right fielder, Janae, I love calling her Jay. It's just fun to cheer that out.
What's a better feeling for you, like the diving web gym type play at short or the home run?
Definitely the home run.
What do you think is the biggest home run you've hit in your career? Like, is there one that sticks out to you that says this is one of my favorite home runs I've hit?
Definitely. Last year we beat Champion 5-3. We were losing 3-2, and I came up and hit a 3-run home run to beat them. And that is something I will never forget because we ended their undefeated season, and it was just a good feeling. They're a great team, but we came out and played really well that day, and it's something we've wanted for a long time.
When you think about a sport outside of softball that you don't play, that maybe you're watching, you think, man, I might be able to be good at that. What are some sports that come to mind that you maybe wish you could have tried or thrown your hat into the ring at?
Um, Track is the same as softball season, and I'm not that fast, but I feel like maybe I could have jumped or something. Would have been fun to try at least.
Who do you think is pick a one male athlete that you think would be really good at softball? Like, because there are some differences between baseball and softball. Who do you think would be the one that maybe wouldn't strike out on a softball field?
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like Tom Brady's just good at everything. As much as I don't really like him, but he's an athlete, so
Is he your favorite professional athlete?
no. Actually, my family's Steelers fans, so we hated the
There
Patriots.
you go. Then your favorite Steeler has to be.
Um, I liked Juju Smith-Schuster when he was there.
All right. That's fine with you like the
Yeah.
TikTok dances. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. What do you think is the best post game meal that you could have after a big win?
You can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A.
Mm. That's why you don't play on Sundays, right?
Yeah.
All right, Abby. Before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and all the people that are there for you and all the people that have supported you throughout your career.
All right. Well, obviously, my parents, they've supported me no matter what through everything. My little brother, Judah, is one of my biggest supporters. Whether he comes to the games or not, he always checks up and asks how I've done. Honestly, all my family and all my coaches that have been there from the moment I started, and all my friends, my teammates.
All right, Abby. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We've loved talking to you. We will continue to cover you throughout your senior year, and we wish you the best of luck. We can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much for having me.